They might be the poster child, but sometimes the hero or protagonist of a movie is outshone by the heroics of the movie's side characters. Take Batman, for example. Just kidding. No one outshines Batman. Now, we're not saying that we don't like the hero. Well, not all the time anyway. Looking at you, Bueller. But now and then, the side characters need to bask in the spotlight. So let's take a look at 10 times side characters were the true heroes in movies.
I'm going to Mordor alone.
Of course you are. And I'm coming with you!
Let's start off with one of the biggest heroes on this list, although he comes in one of the smallest packages, Samwise Gamgee. Because let's face it, if Sam wasn't there, Frodo would not be getting to Mordor. Sam came up clutch countless times, being with Frodo through thick and thin, constantly putting himself in the firing line as well as offering to take the ring when it was becoming too much of a burden, and even sacrificing his rations so Frodo could keep on going. But the most obvious case of Sam's heroism is after he's sent away by Frodo, after being framed by Gollum, only to save Frodo from the tower in Mordor, taking out a couple of orcs along the way. If there was ever an example of a side character stealing the spotlight in a flick, it has to be Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road. Furiosa's the one who really drives the plot forward, rescuing the concubines from Immortan Joe before embarking on a long and perilous journey to keep them safe. It's her decisions and her desires that move the plot along, all the while protecting the concubines from her relentless pursuers, while Max is just along for the ride. Honestly, if the movie wasn't called Mad Max, you'd think that Furiosa was the hero. In terms of superheroes, there aren't many better than King T'Challa, aka Black Panther. That was certainly the case in Captain America Civil War when he went off. And no one can tell me that they didn't get goosebumps when he returned through the portal in Endgame. But when it comes to his 2018 solo movie, he really relied on the heroics of the side characters. That's not to say T'Challa wasn't the hero of the movie, but Shuri, Okoye, and M'Baku were the ones who saved the day, saving his life and leading the troops against Killmonger, which is ironic seeing as M'Baku started off as an antagonist. But out of the three, T'Challa really relied on his sister, Shuri, who provided him with his technology and protected him while he was at death's door. Harry Potter is of course the real hero of the Harry Potter series. We'd have to be real contrarians to say otherwise. I mean, his name is literally the series. As well as this, his bravery and heroism saved the days on countless occasions. There, entry done. Yeah, just kidding. Yes, Harry is the true hero, but as he himself acknowledges, there is no way that he would have been able to defeat Voldemort so many times if it weren't for those around him. While there are countless candidates for the most heroic besides Harry, such as Snape, we're going to concentrate on his fellow students, Hermione, Ron, Neville, and Luna, all of whom contributed to Harry's success. Without any one of them, Harry could have been doomed to failure. I mean, Neville destroyed a Horcrux, but out of all of them, Hermione has to get the most credit, right? Because if it weren't for her, Harry would have died trying to get the Philosopher's Stone, would likely never have found the Chamber of Secrets, and would not have had access to the Time Turner in Prisoner of Azkaban, just to name a few examples. This next one is tricky because it's actually a question in itself. Who is the true hero of Star Wars? The most popular answer, of course, is Luke Skywalker, and for good reason, as during the original trilogy, despite being young and naive, he was a symbol of hope and heroism throughout. That, of course, was until Last Jedi. I will never be able to unsee that green milkscreen. Others, though, have claimed both Han and Leia are the true heroes, while in the broader world of Star Wars, others have petitioned Obi-Wan, Anakin, and of course Rey in the sequel trilogy. But there's been one constant throughout. One hero who has saved Skywalker's bacon countless times. One man, or should I say droid, whose heroic actions cannot be understated. R2-D2. We could name a number of times R2 saved the day, but without R2 and his relentless search for Obi-Wan, there would be no trilogy, and Luke Skywalker would have remained on Tatooine. Although admittedly, his aunt and uncle would probably still be alive. But one side character who really outshines her co-star hero is Hit Girl in Matt Vaughn's Kick-Ass. Hit Girl, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, was the true hero of the movie, as she was actually the one kicking ass. Despite only being 11, she quickly stole the show with her amazing action sequences and use of the C word that would give Butcher from The Boys a run for his money. Although Nicolas Cage's performance as Big Daddy is memorable in its own right, everyone was basically overshadowed by Hit Girl. Kick-Ass wouldn't have gotten anything accomplished if it were not for her. A lot of movies use side characters for comic relief, and Dory in Pixar's Finding Nemo is definitely used in this regard, with her being hilarious, ditzy, and adorable. But she's also the hero in her own right. Dory has a tragic backstory, and her bad memory often inhibits her, but it's her selflessness and caring personality that really help push the plot along. Because of her loving, somewhat naive personality, Marlin may never have found his son. Oh, also, she speaks whale. Like Harry and Frodo, Simba is certainly the hero of The Lion King, with him making his dramatic return to Pride Rock and defeating his tyrannical uncle Scar. But also, like Harry and Frodo, he would never have been able to do it without those around him. Timon and Pumbaa are certainly heroes in their own right, taking in Simba and raising him before helping him reclaim Pride Rock, even if their initial motive was somewhat self-serving. That's why Simba's old flame, Nala, has to be recognized as the movie's hero alongside Simba. She was the one who searched far and wide for food for the Pride, protected her mother Sarabi, and of course, one of the ones who helped convince Simba to return to Pride Rock. Without Nala, Simba may have spent his whole life in exile, leaving Scar to reign supreme, which instead of worries would mean no food for the rest of their days. I know I'm in the minority here and I'm gonna get some hate for this, but I'm not a fan of Ferris Bueller. The guy's arrogant and lazy and, to be honest, kind of annoying. Ferris doesn't have much character development either and basically ends the way he started, unlike his buddy Cameron. However, when you look at it, you have to feel sorry for Cameron, who suffered a tough home life because of his strict father. Although Ferris is the one who pushes the plot along, it's Cameron who's the one who grows and develops and learns to live his life. Out of the two, Cameron is arguably the more relatable character, right? While I'm on the subject of controversial statements, I don't like E.T. I think he's creepy. Okay, man, I wanted to get that off my chest. This last one again is contentious, but that's because, again, the hero of the movie is somewhat unclear. In Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leonardo DiCaprio's Rick Dalton is arguably the chief protagonist, but it's his stuntman, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, who is the real hero. Not only is Pitt just so darn charming as Booth, but he's the one who literally saves the day when he and his dog Brandy take out a number of the Manson family, saving Sharon Tate in the process. Booth is also arguably more relatable and likable than Dalton, although it is still kind of unclear whether or not he killed his wife.
Hey! You're Rick f***ing Dalton. Don't you forget it.
As we said at the top of the video, other than Bueller, we still love the heroes in these movies, despite the fact now and then the side characters steal the show. But are there any protagonists that you just downright don't like? I don't know about you, but Cobra Kai has really made me prefer Johnny over Daniel, and has made me rethink who the real Karate Kid is.